Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is old boy James Ash from Staring into the Abyss and Tales from the Abyss, West Coast. I'm going to introduce the third episode with James Hershey and the East Coast group, where an evil entity is attacking a child in Mountain Jackson, Virginia. I hope everybody enjoys it. Have a good night, guys.
As we look and stare into the abyss, you never know what's staring back at you. It's coming.
All these voices. All these voices. All these things you can't explain. All these painful memories. They keep haunting you and daunting me.
My name is James Hershey. I'm a nice guy. I'm a fun guy. Now, I shot John, and maybe that wasn't the nicest thing for me to do. But I'm going to make sure that he's all good. Right back.
All these whispers, all these footsteps in the rain, all these shadows in my mind, but my reflection I can't find.
That ought to do it.
It's just the ghost of you and me. It's just the smoking gasoline. It's just the ghost of you and me, of you and me. Don't let them take you away. Don't let them bring you down inside. It's just the mirrors in your mind. Don't let them bring you down.
This investigation took place in Mount Jackson, Virginia. And the story on this one is the father has had an attachment, most likely demonic, that's what we think it is, for decades. It has caused him to have severe aggression, a lot of problems with alcohol, and just overall bad behavior. Now this attachment has begun to move to the little girl. And she's beginning to exhibit bad behavior as well. She's beginning to draw some very creepy pictures, which I'll be showing you in this video. She's also doing self-mutilation and cutting herself, that kind of thing. And she's even gotten to the point where she's had a suicide attempt. So she is in a mental facility right now getting the help that she needs. And the father came to us and wanted us to come in and do an investigation and see if we can't do something about this, to fix this problem, and to take this bastard out that's attacking the family, basically. So that's what we did. And this, what you're about to watch, is the investigation that we did there. And I will be back after this investigation to give you an update, because there's been some new information that's come up as far as what's going on and how they're doing now. So I'll see you after the investigation. When I was first contacted by the father about this case, he sent me this picture. Now look in the bottom right-hand corner of the window and you'll be able to see the entity. What I'm going to show you right now is a blow-up of that original picture. Now in this blow-up you can see really clearly that there is something in the bottom right-hand corner of that window. It is a rather disturbing image, to say the least. Now when we went there that night, after we did the interview with the gentleman, he took me around to that window where he took that picture, and I took pictures of that window from all different angles. Now what is playing right now on the screen as you're watching are those photographs that I took of that window from all kinds of different angles, zoom in, zoom out, different light, stuff like that. And as you can see, there's literally nothing behind that window. So it's not something that's always there. It's something that was only there when he took that picture. So that's what initially got my interest in this case. I said, whoa. And then I heard the story of what's been going on in his
The one in
family.
Mount Jackson, this is the house that we're having some issues with, supposedly some shadows, stuff like that. Haven't done anything really yet. This chair over here actually was a tenant of the house at one time. He actually passed away in that chair. Still sitting in the same spot. I sat there for a little bit earlier, and that actually I could feel the energy off that chair. It was all good, nothing negative. Actually, to the point that I almost laughed, because you could actually tell that somebody was messing with me in the chair, but in a good way, like just letting me know they were there. And his name was Bob. And so we don't want to give him any disrespect whatsoever. So this here's the kitchen. This is where they're seeing some shadow figures. This door out here actually leads to the patio. And I can just pop it open. This here's my buddy Morse the cat. You're gonna be famous, buddy. We're gonna make some money off of you. You know what I'm saying? You're smart. This over here is his drinking fountain. He literally drinks out of that. But they see out here, I don't know if he's one of those who wants to go out. Right here, this is where they see actually what I guess you could call a shadow figure, or images of somebody walking past outside the door. Actually, earlier was standing here, and Todd, I was sitting in Bob's chair actually, and Todd was standing in the archway right here, and I actually witnessed what looked like a shadow figure walk right behind him, but only about waist high, so that was kind of weird. Right. Hallway, obviously. Bathroom here. Some experiences in there. He was up one morning for work and whatnot, and thought that he heard his wife coming through. And you know, we all know when you live in a house with someone, you know what they sound like when they get up in the morning and, you know, get their routine started. And he actually went back, came out, and she was still in bed, fast asleep. So a little weird. This is their bedroom.
Not a whole lot happening in here.
Unfortunately for Todd.
You felt that, huh?
Right. But Lena, she's a little freaked out about closets, but that comes from past experience as a kid, so that completely makes sense. This is Maddie's room here. As you can tell, she's loves the Japanese animation, or Japanimation, however you want to say it, but she's also a big just Japanese culture type of gal. And so she actually is away at places through the week and comes home on some weekends, and so they've made it look really cool. I mean, this is really nice actually, to give her a little bit of tranquility and peace. And that's about it for the bottom here. So I guess we're gonna head upstairs and go from there.
Y'all have fun.
You don't like it up there, huh?
We're now heading upstairs into the attic area. This is where the picture was taken of the entity. So we're going to go up to the location where that entity was found, and we're going to see what we can find.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I tried to make a room up here, but like the thing is so hot or so cold during the.
True, Jim.
Okay, so this is the attic area.
It's insulated well, so you could probably put one of those little water heaters. I put air conditioners.
This right here is the window that
Frozen dead.
we saw it, right? Where the
No,
picture was
this
taken, or
window
this was on this side? This side with the dresser, right? Okay, so this location right here is where that photograph was taken,
Somebody. Look at him.
right up in here.
Even though glare sucks.
As you can see, there's nothing around the dresser that would look like what we found on that photograph. Unfortunately, the family did not want to be on camera, but we did do an audio interview with the father. So I'm going to play that audio interview for you, and while it's playing, I'm going to put on the screen a bunch of pictures that the parents shared with us of some very disturbing things that the little girl has been drawing. There was a real red flag for them. And then we'll get right back to the investigation after
So
the
it happened at the house, right, in Edinburgh?
Yeah. I don't know. Have you ever been to that house in Edinburgh?
No, but I remember where it was.
Okay, it's right behind Edinburgh Motors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember where it was. Has anybody
It's
in it
pretty.
now?
No, it's condemned.
That's what I thought. So that's where Carrie did all the.
Supposedly, now she's changing her story though.
Oh, what's she saying now?
I did a report on it and that was it.
A report on Ouija boards?
Yeah.
Nice. When you were out in Montana, did it?
Not that I can ever remember,
Right. So mostly back
but I
here.
wasn't really there a whole long
Right.
time, so
And then was it happening over at Grandma's?
not that I can remember.
See, I don't remember that either.
It-
But pretty much after you got to drinking and stuff like that, you
No.
think it showed more, or
The house in Edinburgh, and then from there we moved to a house on 42, right past Walmart. That big house where the barn is.
I got
That
you.
big farmhouse.
Yep.
We lived there, and that lady even told us that owned it. There's things in this house that you'll see and hear. Don't worry,
Right.
they won't hurt you.
Gotcha. Wonder if she did anything in there.
Well, I don't know if she did or not, but I know that house was an old Civil War hospital. Like there was a whole wall in the basement that shouldn't have been there. You couldn't
Gotcha.
go any farther.
Gotcha.
What was behind there, I don't know.
Right. I don't want to.
Yeah. Well, Carrie would see a lot of things there. What she described almost would sound like a Civil War soldier.
Gotcha.
That's where I saw the lady in the gown walking down the hallway towards my bedroom, and then stop and turn around and go
Going.
back
Right.
the other direction.
So what was your first experience with this thing, or what you think is?
I think it's all connected, and that would be the house in Edinburgh.
Right.
And when we moved in there was a wheelchair that would mysteriously just roll across the floor.
Gotcha.
Pennies would fall from the ceiling while we were eating dinner. TVs would cut on and off. Then we moved, and like I said, we saw all the stuff at the other house, and we could hear literally footsteps.
Right.
My mom would always be like, "Oh, it's just squirrels in the act," but no, you could hear little actual footsteps.
Yeah. Mom
Walking
being
across.
mom.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and to the point my sister even said she heard it because the attic door was in her bedroom. Heard it come down the steps, open the door.
Couldn't do it. Right.
She said about half hour or so later, the door shut. Heard it go up the steps, and
Like you went out in the house somewhere or something.
Now at that house, were you actually seeing?
that's where I saw
Unity as well?
That's where I saw the what
But
looked
you
to me
didn't
like a
see
lady.
this creature, demonic,
No,
what we're thinking
no,
thing.
not a, I didn't start really seeing that till later on. Well, no, I'm wrong. Sorry, I've been dealing with it for so long. I just I would see, but it wouldn't. It's hard to explain how it looked. Like you could see it, but you couldn't.
Right.
So it was like see-through.
Kind of.
Was it a shadow figure?
I'd say more, yeah, more like a shadow. But it's like Maddie described. It's not horns,
Right.
but it's like big pointed ears.
Like elf ears, kind of.
Yeah, she even said.
Well, see, I seen that picture of that dog thing in there that you had. That,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying?
Little things would always happen throughout the years, nothing major. But it really started getting bad when I lived in that house in Strasburg on the corner. And I don't know if you all know Samantha North,
Yeah.
Tony Boyd's sister.
Right.
She would come over and hang out, watch TV, and if I didn't have any tenants, because I ran that boarding house,
Right.
if there was no tenants in the house, we just treated it as one big house. So
Right.
the living room, she'd come over and watch movies and stuff. And she can tell you to this day, we'd hear footsteps going across upstairs, nobody be in the house. But the thing is, the footsteps, you could actually see the footprints on the ceiling. They'd go from the front door to the steps. But like I said, they weren't upstairs, they were on the ceiling.
Right.
So it's like whatever it was walking on the ceiling, not on the floor
Yeah.
upstairs.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And then just little things, like I said, I got to the point where I named it Cupcake just to piss it
Yeah, I
off.
remember we were talking about that. Right.
Did any of the other tenants there ever report to you seeing anything or having any strange encounters there?
They would always tell me that they thought somebody else was in the house, but nobody ever actually saw anything.
Right. They just get that feeling
Mhm.
or hear something,
Or think I would be there when I wasn't.
like she just said a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when I moved from that
So
house,
did this thing ever say anything to you?
I can honestly say I don't ever remember it speaking to me.
Right. Did it do any gestures or anything to make you? Or
No,
like,
it just walk.
or
I mean,
subliminal, like put shit in your head.
well,
Does
that I
make
don't
sense?
know, because I've had my life has been
Right.
pretty.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I'm just an angry person. I don't know if that was because of all this or
How's
just
that been doing lately?
comes and goes.
Gotcha.
I mean,
It does with me too. But
Yeah.
I went through the same thing.
she didn't really believe any of this, and she's friends with Samantha too. I mean,
Right.
we're all still friends, and she's just like, yeah, okay, whatever. Well, she was talking about how happy everything was in that apartment in Edinburgh.
Right.
Well, we got into an argument about something, and we'd go out inside and smoke, but it was on an upstairs, like screened-in porch,
Right.
and you could look down. You had a door to the left, which went down a hallway with a glass door. That went to her mom's apartment,
Right.
and then ours was over here. It was just a couple times I would tell her, I think your mom's home. I just saw somebody come around the corner and go to the door.
Right.
Nobody'd be there. Well, we got to arguing one night on this porch about something stupid, just a small little argument, and something growled, like straight up. She heard it, and she's like, I believe you now. She's like, I want to get off this porch.
Right.
I mean, pretty much not soon after that, that's when Maddie started saying, and we never told Maddie about any of this.
Gotcha.
Because, I mean, why would you?
Yeah. Exactly.
You don't want to tell a 7-year-old at the time.
Right.
And she was reporting to you the same thing that she was seeing was the same exact description
Not
as
at
what you were
first.
seeing.
At first, she would say she was seeing like little animals. She had like imaginary friends that were animals, and I'd said something and be like, Maddie, it's not real. And she said they got mad at me and went away. I mean, just little things. And like I said, we just chalked it up being just little kids got imaginary friends.
Right.
Right.
And then as she got older, she started describing more and more. And I think it was just the last time she was here, maybe 2 weeks ago. She's like, "Are we gonna have the talk?" I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah." I was like, "So Maddie, what exactly are you seeing?" And that's when she described everything. Like I said, throughout the years I've seen.
Said the same thing.
But and once again, she didn't know. I never told her.
Right.
And I asked her. That's when I asked her. I was like, "Do you ever see its feet?" And she's like, "No," but she's like, "I draw it with big feet, what I think they would look like."
Right.
So what kind of experiences is she having with this thing?
Well, as Lena said, I mean, with all the things with her so-called spells and her friends, she said it told her to kill her friends that night, suicidal, which we don't know if that's to do with this or all the trauma in her life. What else?
Well, that's a definite major doorway right there for something to latch on. You know, there's one thing, man, just remember there's no, I mean, there is instances that there's full-on possessions and stuff, but it's, I can tell you with who we work with him, he's been in it, I'm not sure, I know he's been in like 30 years maybe, something like that, but I can tell you that he's like me. I think he's seen maybe 2 instances or heard of 2 or 3 instances that actually was full possession. Most of the time it's either an oppression or it's just a attachment. They can come and go or leave, and most of the time they will lay dormant, you know what I'm saying, for a while, and then something will trigger it, like you're saying, that argument and stuff. With her, I mean, like I said earlier, I hate to say it, but most likely this is something that you were carrying. And I mean, but don't blame yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, don't take that hard. I mean, I don't want you
I
to.
think the scariest thing that happened with Maddie, and I wasn't there. You've been to my old house in Edinburgh
Yeah.
that me and Lena lived in.
Yeah.
We always called, growing up as kids, because we grew up in Edinburgh,
Right.
obviously, we always called it the scary house. The one directly across the street had the big steeple-looking roof,
I got
the
you.
double. Well, that lady was getting ready to pass away, and her kids, they put her in a nursing home and gave a lot of the furniture away. Well, I had Maddie's room all painted pink and everything. Well, I saw a pink chair, and they said it's free.
Right.
Well, I brought it home. I stuck it in the basement before to get room in her room for it. Well, Lena came down, and Maddie was actually not feeling good and dead asleep. If I remember correctly, she wasn't feeling good. And was dead asleep, and she went downstairs in the basement to do a load of laundry, and when she turned around, Maddie was asleep in that chair, and she could not wake her up. And when she finally did get her up, Maddie had no clue how she got there, what she was doing, like she didn't even know where she was. And after that, she told me that same day, the next day, I put that chair right back in the yard with a sign off the street with a sign that said
Right.
free.
Right.
Well, I know when I would come down there to train you, I could feel a presence. I could
And
feel like
I'm-
a heaviness.
That house, like Lena was saying earlier, was very weird. It started off, the cat, or black cat, which we no longer have, would not come out. Like, it would be deathly afraid if I brought it up the steps.
Gotcha.
And then it got to the point where, and James can vouch for a little bit of this from what he probably saw. It got to the point where I wouldn't come out of I'd come home, I literally put a couch, a TV, my video games, everything down there, and I would come home from work. The excuse was, well, I don't want to watch what they're watching on TV or something, so I'd go downstairs and watch my TV. But I would not come out of that basement. I pretty much lived in that basement.
How was things between you and her then?
That's when everything went south.
Gotcha.
In the basement, the way it was set up, he had his like little living room over in the almost the middle, but it was a little bit towards back, and then it was like a kids play area in the front there, and then the area where we trained, because I taught him, was teaching him self-defense there back when I had my martial arts school.
Right.
And there was this heaviness and this evil feeling in the place. It was a real dark feeling, and it was like cat feces and stuff, where the cats would go down there and go to the bathroom.
And it seemed like
And
no
it
matter
was
how
just-
much we cleaned,
Yeah, it's like
it
you
was
couldn't
like it
keep
was always there.
You couldn't keep it cleaned up. No matter how much they would clean it up, they would just keep continuously
And
going
actually,
to the
that
bathroom.
same cat is.
I almost said that.
When
Yeah.
you go upstairs, don't freak out because there is an odor. 'Cause I
Right.
tried to make a bedroom up there with me and the cat.
Right.
Well, I kept smelling, couldn't find it. I had a roll-out rug, a big one. She was going under the rug, and when I cleaned up about 2 weeks ago, I finally found it. Oh, like a year later,
Up underneath the rug.
everywhere.
That's
I mean,
weird, man.
and that's why that cat is in a crate now, because she just go, and she never used to do that.
Right.
See, a lot of times when there's stuff like that going on, animals can sense this kind of activity, and especially with something dark, they'll react in weird ways. I've heard of a lot of cases them
And
like defecating and
the litter
urinating all
box
over
in
the
her
place.
case, she'll go right in front of it.
Well,
Now, granted, she is an old cat, though.
biggest thing is also that cats, I'm sure, well, I know they have more of a spectral field that they can see more than us. They see, you know, they're more like a full spectral camera, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's full spectrum, I should say. And they can see stuff that we can't see. And that's why you'll see a lot of hauntings that'll say, well, my cat freaks out, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, because they can probably, and I think that's why little babies, when, you know, people say also, well, you know, our newborn, like we had a case recently, well, she's always looking up in the corner and smiling and cooing at something that's not there. Well, that's because they're not
And
fully
that's like the cat I was
yet,
telling you
you
that
know?
wouldn't come out of the basement.
Right.
Once it finally started coming out of the basement. How often do you ever see that black cat down there?
Never.
It would not go back down to the basement.
Right.
So what kind of
And that's where, like I said, that's where their litter boxes was, to a point we had to start putting litter boxes all over the
Yeah,
house.
I think the concern right there would be more just of you being down there and cutting yourself off like that.
Oh, I did. I literally
That's-
cut myself off from the world.
yeah, they like to
And that's when
isolate people.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
when I started drinking real heavy. I mean, like, heavy.
So what kind of
Right.
activity have you had here in this home that you're at now?
Not much, except for, like, the picture I sent you all.
And this is the place that you heard the guy, she heard the guy say something, right?
I think that was... I've got a little radio in there
Gotcha.
that I think it picks up some of the CB traffic.
Gotcha.
I think that's what that might have been. That was my roommate that heard that.
I got you.
She said she thought I was home one day when I wasn't.
Right.
And I know I got up, used the bathroom, got up ready for work. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I know what it sounds like when she gets up and walks down the hall.
Right.
I heard that. And when I got it done, she was still in bed, sound asleep. And besides that, nothing bad, but we always see constantly, if you're in the kitchen, you'll see somebody either, it looks like they're right here on the porch or they're walking by, and there's never anybody there.
So at the house in Edinburgh, the house with the
Which
basement.
house? The basement.
The basement
Okay.
house. Was there a lot of activity going on with your daughter there, or is that started since you've come to this home?
It really started happening at that house.
At that house?
And that's when she was starting to, I mean, she was always telling us, even at the apartment, but that's when we started noticing really things with her. And when me and Lena split up, that's when she really kind of, all those times that she was saying that she was in those psych hospitals, it'd be for like a week or two. That was all after we split up. Now, once we got back together, I think she was in 2 separate ones, short term, and now she's in the long term. And that's been within the last year.
Right. Does that seem to be helping? I mean, does she act any differently when she comes home?
Yes and no, but I think a lot of that's because there she has that, I hate to say it, almost like a jail mentality.
I got you.
And then she'll have her moments here, but nothing.
Seems to be pretty all right then.
Yeah. But it always seems like when something we do hear or see something, except for the random walking by,
Right.
it's either right before we go pick her up, while she's here or asleep, or right after we take her back. Like that picture I took was a Saturday morning when they were in here dead asleep.
Now, what made you look up there? You just seen
I
something
always
new,
do,
or-
because, see, I have a memory like a rock. I probably should have told you this earlier. A buddy of mine that I work with, we're really good friends. You probably see him on Facebook all the time, Jeremiah Sign.
Okay. I know Jeremy.
Not Lanham, but Sign.
Yeah, I know Jeremy.
He goes to work at like 3 o'clock in the morning. He's like, and this is when I was trying to make a bedroom up there to get away from my roommate because she was about half crazy after Bob died.
Right.
He's like, what are you doing standing up in your window at 3 o'clock in the morning? I was like, I wasn't up at 3 o'clock in the morning. He's like, somebody was standing in that attic window facing the road. I was like, that was not me.
Wow. Could've
So
been Bob.
we've had Bob died here, and then we also had. You said your daughter was having issues with cutting, and was it a suicide attempt or?
She's always had a problem with self-mutilation at some point, whether it's biting her lips to the point where they would get so infected, we'd have to take her to the doctor.
Right.
You'd have to talk with her about as far as cutting if it was while we were split up. But while we were together, I never noticed any cutting. The first time, now that we're back, yeah, it was definitely a problem.
You could see it.
And like to the point, like she would like steal knives, and I'd have
Well, I
to
remember
literally
you told me that.
physically take her and
Right.
hold her down to take the knives from her.
See, a lot of times when people cut, it's to alleviate emotional pain. They believe the physical pain can
yeah.
take away the emotional pain.
And see, that's something they said too. So I don't know if it's tied in together or if it's
Just that.
yeah.
Those pennies, though. I keep going back to that. You gotta understand, I got a little bit of a. I was in Moundsville prison last weekend, up in Moundsville, West Virginia Penitentiary. We did, you know.
Yeah, I saw you put pictures
we
in
had
front of it.
We had a penny thrown at us.
Really?
Yeah, out of nowhere. But coins are known to be
Yeah, we'd be sitting there in the kitchen
Demonic.
eating dinner, and they would just.
more gold coins. You know what I'm saying? With
I
copper
think it was all.
coins.
Yeah, I think it was all usually pennies, and they would just drop
I have
on the
to look
table.
into that.
Yeah.
I know gold coins. There's now. Do you have anything misplaced, or do you feel like that? Like you know, you put something there, and then you go to get it, and it's not there, and then you find it somewhere. Then you're like,
I
know,
say
you
that,
know.
and I'll blame her for moving stuff. Well, actually, yes. There's a part of my clippers, my hair clippers, because I shave my head,
Right.
brand new. She got it for me for Christmas last year. I only use it once a week. I got a basket. Literally, I'll use it. It'll come up missing, and then next week or 2 weeks later, when I go to look for it, digging through there, it'll be
Right.
sitting right on top. That's happened twice now. And you can ask her. It was just last weekend. I was like, it's gone again. She's like, that is weird. I
That's
mean,
about it. That you think?
off the top of my head that I can think of. I mean,
Well, we know we have problems with the daughter. We know that some of those drawings that you showed us were very, very dark, and we'll be including that in the footage.
okay.
So I think what we ought to do is let me get the rest of the equipment, and we'll go in here and you do your thing, see if you can pull it out.
Right.
I definitely want to check out the window where the picture was taken. We'll do maybe some spirit box, maybe a little
Well,
bit
we're
of
out
Paratech.
here. I could actually show you that right now.
Yeah,
You want?
'Cause I was literally walking to work.
Or
we'll look at it from both. 'Cause
Do
I got to
from
walk
both.
over here to the car anyway.
I got you.
So
I'll go in here and start getting some stuff together.
Okay.
And can you tell me what your name is?
we're now attempting a spirit box session in Bob's chair.
Do you know whose house this is? Hello. Whose chair am I sitting in? Can you tell me the name of anybody that's sitting in the room here? Lena.
Yeah, I heard Lena.
I heard that.
Heard Lena again.
Lena again. Todd. Do you know my name?
Andy.
I don't know.
Who's holding the camera over here, the phone? Do you know his name? His name is James. Can you say that back to me? What is your name? Eddie. You say Eddie or Andy? Can you tell me like a little bit slower what your name is? I can't tell what you're saying. I'm sorry. We're just here to communicate, not here to run you out or disrespect you or anything. Just trying to communicate. Can you tell me what? What do you need help with? Are you stuck here? Can you tell me your name again? Can you try? Are you saying Eddie? Do you know what the cat's name is? Yeah, you've said my name enough times, I understand that. Does that help you out there? You're welcome. Can you tell me what your name is? Bob.
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 It is Bob.
Yeah.
Hi, Bob.
Can you say hello to Lena, Bob?
Were you touching me earlier? Hey Bob, can you help us out, man, and tell us if there's anything or anybody or any other spirits that are in here?
Bob, we got a problem here, buddy. Your friend Todd and your friend Lena, their family is being attacked. Their little girl is being attacked. Can you tell us who is doing that? We want to help them, Bob.
That's
Is there somebody there with you, Bob?
What's their name?
You say Jennifer?
What it sounds like.
Did you say Jennifer, Bob? You got to talk to us, buddy. I know it's hard. It takes a lot of energy. We're here in this house, Bob, because we're trying to help your friends Todd and Lena. There's something attacking their family, and we're trying to find it. Can you help us?
Maybe. Hey, Bob, is it you that they see like outside by the patio? Are they catching glimpses of you or not?
The thing that's attacking this family, Bob, where does it live? Does it live upstairs? Where can we find it? Did you say attic? Is it up in the attic, Bob? Is that what you're trying to tell us? We're going to go up into the attic, Bob, and we're going to do this again. Can you come up to the attic with us and help point it out for us? Can you tell us what is attacking this family, Bob? Is it demonic? I think old Bob might be about done. He said, wait. We're waiting, Bob. We're not going to leave them.
Did I just see you in the kitchen?
You said refrigerator, didn't it? Were you at the refrigerator, Bob? We're not going to hurt you, Bob. We're not going to run you out. We're here to take out that thing that's hurting the family.
We like having you here.
We need your help, Bob. They thought a whole lot of you. Do you have anything you want to say to Todd or to Lena, Bob? They're right here with us. Was that you telling them to leave, Bob? Or is that the other entity that's in this home? The one that's attacking them? If you're here, show yourself. Talk to us on this box. What is your name? Why are you attacking this family? I can feel you. I know you're here. I can feel it. Speak to me. See that thing right beside the speaker? That's a K2 meter. Light it up. Make the lights go up on it. I'm speaking right now to whatever entity is attacking this family. Who are you? Why are you attacking them?
Because why? What is your name?
Can you make that K2 light up? Light up the K2 here beside this speaker.
Just remember that anything electrical will make it jump sometimes. You have to stand there in the middle. I tell you what really works good is sitting on the floor and ask it to come up and
What was that? I heard that. Speak a little more clearly. I'm coming over. Speak to me. Tell me what you want. Why are you attacking this family? I'm telling you right now, we're not going to leave. We're going to find you. You're the one that's going to be leaving. You don't want to talk to me anymore? Are you up in that attic? Is that where you're hiding out? I'm not gonna stop. Sarah told me to stop. Try to light up this K2 meter. Prove to me that you're here. You're attacking children. You think that's fun? In a few minutes, we're coming up to that attic. You gonna talk to me there? Maybe you're gonna talk to me up there? Don't do that. Don't do what? Who am I speaking to? Identify yourself. Wow, look at that. I saw you lit up the K2. Are you the one that is attacking his family? What is your name? Identify yourself. Yeah, you. It said me. It said no? Tell me your name. I couldn't understand that. Can you do it more clearly? Why have you attached yourself to this family? Said baby? Did you say Carrie? Did you attach yourself to this family through Carrie? Okay, cue it up. I'm back from it. Are you the one that's been attacking Maddie? Is that a no? Who is the one that's been attacking Maddie? Do you know where that entity is? Where it hides out in this home?
Are you the one that's been following me?
Are you the entity that's been following Todd around? Is there anything that you want to say, that you want us to know? Can you say that a little louder, please? I can't make that out. Did you say fear? Are you afraid? What is scaring you? I don't know. Can you repeat that, please? You say Matthew? Carol? Are there multiple entities here with me? There is something in this home that is attacked. What do you say? There's something in this home that is attacking this family. Can you tell me what that is? What message do you have?
What is your name? What are you?
We went up into the attic to confront this entity, but after maybe 30 seconds, it ran away again. We spent the next hour or so chasing this thing all over the house. It would talk to us for a moment and then be gone. So what we decided to do was a house blessing and to try to seal the home and drive this thing out. So that's what you're going to see now.
Only for people to come in and spread your name. Just ask for blessings, God, in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. We even bless the cats for me. Right, like that. This doorway here is only meant for good to come in and out.
Amen. What we're doing now is we're going through the hole and doing a blessing.
Even though this is a place that not somebody would think that needs blessed, Lord, we ask that in the time that people are relaxing in their shower, when people are taking care of their business and stuff, Lord, that they're protected, and we'll just bless this room in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Even though there's probably some demonic stuff that happens in that toilet. God, please, please, in this, we ask, Lord, that you just look over this young lady, God. This is where it's at right here. You know it. She's battling, man. God, I'm asking everything from my heart. I just ask that you just, when she's home and stuff, that you just send down ministering angels, angels of warfare, angels of peace, angels of safety, whatever you can throw in here to take care of this young lady. She needs you more than anything right now. And I speak on behalf of myself that, Lord, I just ask that you use anything that I have to offer, whether it be my words, whether it be my heart, whether it be whatever, with this paranormal team, that you use that to rid anything of this young lady and show her peace of mind. And I bless this room in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Lord, this is where people, Lord, this is where love is made, but it's also where love is hindered. This is where the bond between wife and husband is. Lord, this is a holy place as long as it's done in your name. I just ask to bless this room and the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Bless this cat and love that it brings to this family, the joy. And we just ask the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit to handle things. Did that cat just hiss at you?
No, I didn't hear a hiss. Go back into Maddie's again.
Anything that's in this room that has an issue with this holy water, you cannot and are not going to be able to stay here. I protect this with the blessing of Jesus, with the holy water that has been blessed by a man of God, and anything that resides here that is not wanted here, you are to flee in the name of Jesus, flee in the name of God, and you're not allowed to do any more harm to this family or any more fear.
You will not harm this girl. You will not attach to this girl. You will not harm this family. In the holy name of Jesus, we command you. You are banished from this room. You are banished from this family. You are not allowed to harm them anymore. In Jesus' name. Okay, update time. So since we did this investigation, the day after, there was a lot of activity that was going on, where this thing was really acting out, pissed off, and just throwing a tantrum. But not too long after that, things quieted down, and to this point, they have had no more problems, no more activity going on. Everything is all good for now. When you're dealing with demonic attachments and just demons in general, they come back sometimes. So it's possible that we are going to have to go back there and get a little rougher with this thing. We did the house blessing, we cleansed the place, and we made it safe for them for now. If it comes back, we will be back with our exorcist, and we will really do something and get rid of this thing. Right now, that's not necessary because everything's quiet. So if anything else happens, we will go back and take care of it. And I will be letting you guys know, giving you updates of what's going on. And it might even be another episode of Tales from the Abyss when we do the exorcism, if that's necessary. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And until I speak to you again, love many, trust few, and do harm to none. God loves you, and so do we. Bye-bye.